Craftsman World of DIY Broadcast Network presents
Hobby holidays to all of you. Yep, that's a hobby train. You see what I did there? We're at the Craftsman Experience broadcasting live, and today we're going to talk about exactly what you just saw on camera there. That's a hobby train, and it's also running through the trusses and the rafters of the Craftsman Experience here. It's a wonderful loft that we have at 233 West Huron in downtown Chicago. Hey, I'm Alex. I'm your host for the evening. We have a couple of people coming in. We're going to be talking model trains. This did not come in a kit. It was built by someone we're going to be bringing on here. Very excited about it, and the best part is it's live, and you can chat with us as well. Maybe you have an interest in, it doesn't even have to be hobby trains. Just join us today. You're going to pick up some skills that you normally wouldn't get. This isn't just about woodworking anymore. We're not going to build a shadow box or a bookshelf. You probably already know how to do that by now. So we're going to get a little intricate for holiday season. So if you have any questions, you can chime in on all of it at livestream.com/Craftsman Experience. And the person that's going to be chatting with all of you, her name's Emily. Hey, Emily, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Alex? Hi, everybody. So I'm chatting live with everybody who's watching online but couldn't join us in the studio tonight, and already a ton of people are chatting. Maybe they're fans of trains, maybe they're friends of everybody who's on the show today, but I don't know about you, but I'm really feeling the holiday spirit with the model trains tonight.
I like that hat, by the way. That's a very nice hat.
Somebody from the North Pole gave it to me.
Very nice. Okay, so we'll be chatting with you all throughout the evening, and everybody online can do the same thing as well. So if you have any questions or anything, let us know. She'll relay it. We'll have a good time with it. So I want to bring out somebody. He's not only our first guest, but he is the Craftsman Club Member of the Month. How cool is that? Eric Jacoby, come on out here, man. I like this outfit. You got to tell us about this outfit. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to have you in here. So, I want to talk about the outfit first. What do you got here? Let's strut the runway here.
These are all Craftsman work clothes.
Yeah.
I have Craftsman long sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
It's got Teflon coating, so like oil resistant, paint resistant.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then I have the work pants, same thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm also sporting these work boots.
The Craftsman boots are great.
Craftsman work boots, yep.
I wear those above. I had like specified like snow boots. And once I got my Craftsman ones, I didn't really need to wear the snow boots anymore.
I've been looking at getting those snow boots myself.
Oh, they work really
ones,
They work really, really well. So what all do we have here? What are we going to be talking about with you today?
We have a couple different models here that I brought. I have this, which is a model of the Milwaukee Road Hiawatha. This thing ran on the rails, gosh, I don't want to get this wrong, probably like in the 40s,
oh, wow, okay.
Around that time. Steam locomotive, and this is a famous, it's called the Skytop Observation Car.
Oh, cool.
And it was unique to the Milwaukee Road in the fact that they had this whole back area where you could see. There's some really cool pictures online where you can see people sitting inside of here, and the view that you would get from this thing.
It's really nice.
Just fantastic, yeah.
Wow.
And so that they always rode in a train set. This would always be on the back of the train. The steam locomotive would always be at the front, and it really pulled off the whole style that the Milwaukee Road had going on.
Now, before we jump into all of this, word on the street is that you have a shop that rivals the setup that we have here at the Craftsman Experience. Can we see some pictures of all this stuff that you've got going on here? I want to brag about it. All right, show us. What are we looking at here?
Well, this is the overall picture of the whole shop from the entrance of it.
Wow.
A lot of different things going on. The workbench that's on the left side is mainly for painting and detail work, stuff like that.
Yeah, let's see the
hence,
next
there's
one.
like a cutting pad on it for razors and stuff like that. On the right, I have a Craftsman miter saw. Don't know what year that was made, but it's
still working, right?
Quite old, yes.
Yeah, there we are.
And the cart that it's on, believe it or not, is kind of like IKEA furniture, pressboard furniture that I converted. Wow. I drilled holes in it, and I converted it to be able to hold the weight of a miter saw.
Oh, very nice.
Then on the right, I have a wood workbench, solid oak, really nice bench. And then in the back is kind of my whole centerpiece. My main workbench, my wood vise, and my pegboard with all my Craftsman tools.
Wow. Wow, very cool. Okay, what else we got? Next slide here.
That's the wood vise.
Okay.
That wood vise is probably around 1930 to 1940 something.
Oh, wow.
And I did a lot of restoration work on it to make sure, that it was in top condition.
Right.
I had a picture of it. There's a picture that I have on there where it's before I did any of the work on it. It's like rusty and old.
Wow.
The handle I added on, just wood from a hardware store. But that's kind
Just
of like
a dowel and an end cap? Is that basically what
yeah,
that is?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. And it's kind of like the centerpiece of my workshop. It's the thing that inspired me to start collecting Craftsman tools and
Oh, cool.
using the brand after I saw that, because I just thought, how cool is it to have these tools that last forever?
Yeah, and I mean, when that thing was made, I mean, the brand was really only about 10 years old, so that's kind of neat. What else we got on this slideshow? Moving along. What do we got? Hey.
That's another Craftsman vise I have. I don't know what year that one is. That's actually my dad's.
Oh, okay.
And it's on probably permanent loan.
Yeah.
Because it's affixed to the workbench.
Right.
He has a kind of an identical one. And that one, sadly, has been painted many times over the years to keep it, working correctly, because, it had gotten rusty and old. And
Right.
But that is an excellent vise. And
Wow.
the reason why, they don't make them anymore, because it had these movable things to hold pipes in place. And
Right.
stuff like that, so.
And this is what
This is what I was
the
telling you
earlier
about
model,
before.
yeah.
This is the wood vise before I restored it.
Right.
The actual wooden pieces that are on the inside of it came with it, and they were all beat up. And,
Oh, and what is this? What do you got here?
That is a Craftsman belt buckle. I wouldn't be able to tell you when that was made, but
Yeah.
it is certainly collectible. And
Okay.
the story behind that is a couple of guys in the Craftsman community, mainly one, was talking about belt buckles that he found.
Yeah.
And he showed everybody a picture of this particular belt buckle. And I'm like, oh my God, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So I went on eBay, and there just happened to be one available. That was the only one they had available. I haven't seen one on there since then. And I picked it up for like $1.
Wow, you didn't even have to win a rodeo to get that big belt
Exactly,
buckle. That's
right.
awesome. Very cool. All right, all right, is this the last one we got coming up next? Is this? Oh no, there was a few more after this. I know this. So behind this, you've already dabbled into the C3 line a little bit.
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah. The decals and the stuff I made myself. The poster was something.
And then
that I printed
inside
out.
of that case.
My collection of C3 tools.
My goodness, look at that. You got the radio. You got everything.
Not,
Look at that.
not as extensive as the full collection, but yeah, I have the radio and
Yeah, man.
the drills, flashlights. On top of the cabinet, I have a buffer. So
Very nice. Very cool. So you use all those tools, and I know there's one specific tool that actually probably a lot of people that use Craftsman tools regularly haven't really thought of getting. But you have a model you're going to build. Before we get to it, let's check in with Emily real quick. Hey, Em.
Hi, guys. Hi, Alex. Hi, Eric. First of all, Eric, that setup almost rivals some of the stuff we have going on here at the Craftsman Experience. So pretty nice. And actually, I have a question for you. Joey from New York says, "Hi, Eric. I am in total awe of your workshop. You are incredibly lucky to have so much space and all the tools you need within reach. You must have lots of projects constantly, but what are you working on for this holiday season?"
that's really interesting. Right now, I'll be. First of all, I'd like to say that I find it interesting that you say that there's a lot of space, because believe it or not, my shop is very small. But the point to that, the moral of that story, is that I've utilized small space and maximized it to fit in what I could and still have room to move around freely and be able to use my different tools. I'm actually not working anything up to the holidays, but on my Christmas wish list, I'm hoping to get a Craftsman router lettering set because I really want to get into sign making.
Oh, nice. Yeah, well, you've used a couple of those here, so it's pretty easy to use because I've done it and not hurt myself. So
That's
it's
what
really
I've.
good.
That's
And
what
those
I've
shoes
heard.
are fun.
So.
All right, cool. You got anything else, Em?
Nope, that's it for now.
Awesome, cool. We'll check back with you in just a little bit. So before we actually start building something, some of these you can buy in a kit, but this one right here, if we could like pull this one out a bit, I'm afraid
one?
to touch it. You built that yourself.
Yeah, right. I mean, it comes in a kit in pieces.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what I'll show you when I build this other one. But this just demonstrates like the intricacy of these models, like how small the parts are.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need steady hands, but I will tell you, when you're working on models that are this intricate, you need a lot of patience.
Right.
Because it takes a lot of time to fit these things together. Sometimes they don't always want to fit right and stuff like that. So it really tells you like how far you can go with these things.
Right.
And this is just the beginning. I mean, you could add like a ton more details to this kind of car. So it really kind of shows how far you can go with model railroading. You can go, start with the basic, like just toys, and go all the way up to almost as if it were the real thing.
That'd be cool. It's like a real size model thing. And when you're working on this stuff, do you listen to that song? What's the name of that song? Chattanooga, what is it?
Chattanooga Choo Choo?
Yeah,
Sure.
that's the one. That's the one.
I know the song.
Yeah. Do you listen to that at all while you're doing it? A little bit of
I've listened to that song, probably not when I'm building models. I actually prefer absolute silence when I'm working on these.
Really?
Because
well, you're not going to get that today. I'm sorry.
That's okay. The one I brought is fairly easy. So
Are you comfortable with even using that term, like as far as like trains, like the slang term?
What's that?
Chattanooga.
Oh, Choo Choo?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
For me, it's actually quite the reverse.
Really?
I grew up with, I started reading train books when I was really, really little.
Yeah.
Some of my teachers, when I would go to school, would ask my parents, where did he pick up terms like, coupler and boxcar and railroad tie and my parents would say, oh, he's reading train books. You know? And that's the thing is like when I would go to like the zoo with my parents and I'd hear other kids around me my same age going, hey, look, Daddy, choo-choo. I'd be like, it's not a choo-choo, it's a train. So
Yeah. Oh, man. I know that name always drove me nuts, but you know what? Maybe we could get it out of our system tonight. I don't know. We'll see. So
I can live with it.
Yeah, right. So what are we going to be putting together
What
today?
we have here is a quite fun. It's actually a beer car.
Oh, nice. Okay,
these were
great.
used in the heyday of railroading to haul beer. They were refrigerated and not like you would think they would be today with modern refrigeration units and Freon gas. They actually put ice packs in these.
Oh, wow.
And they would put them in from the top using these little doors that you see here.
Yeah.
And they would like swing open and they would drop the ice in, and that's how they would refrigerate. They would load the beer throughout the car.
Crazy.
And then,
Was the bottom grated too, so that the ice could melt and it would collect without getting on the crates?
I don't really know how that worked. I think it was more or less a thing where it didn't really. The car was so well insulated that it didn't melt in transit.
Oh, wow.
And when
Okay.
it was done, they would break it down and just sweep it out.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, yep. So I brought this along with me. So basically, what you do with these, and with this particular size is called HO scale. There's a lot of different scales of trains. This is a pretty universal size that a lot of people use. There's a lot of other sizes out there, but this is kind of like a standard size. And they come with these weights.
Okay,
and
good. So you can take corners fast, right? Is that why?
Well, the weight actually helps balance the car.
Yeah.
Because if it didn't have a weight and it was rolling along on the tracks without any weight, it would have a tendency to wobble horribly and then just derail.
Yeah.
Kind of like the equivalent of if a real train car was made of nothing but plastic.
Right.
And even the wheels are made of plastic, and it was coupled to a train, heavy train, it would be so shaky because it's so light it would just
go right off.
Yeah, it would go right off the track.
Exactly.
So, they always come with these weights that you put on, and they go right into these grooves like that. And then this fits on top. See, these are really easy to do because they just, generally they just fit together.
Snap into place.
So, yep, if they cooperate. And then, Craftsman mini screwdriver.
There we go. Yeah. We call that the Chattanooga, what's it called, model? Yeah.
And they very particular about how they go in. And this one doesn't.
Do you worry about stripping these out at all? Because these are metal screws going into
They're
plastic
metal
joints, right?
screws going into plastic. So generally the plastic doesn't strip.
Yeah.
But, however, if you tighten them too much and you're working, like repairing the car,
Yeah.
it can have a nasty tendency to strip. And when that happens, you're pretty much screwed.
Right?
Because it's really hard. There are no Craftsman screw outs and stuff like that
Right.
for cars this small. So, it can get really tricky at sizes this small. So, you can just secure it like that. I think for the purpose of this, I'm not going to put it on all the way. Just make sure that it's on.
Trying to get you as much silence as possible. Okay.
I can actually hear that. Is that the L?
Yep. That's the actually no, that's that model train that we put in. It's doing that. All we're missing now is that train whistle sound, however that goes.
Oh. Cars with Phillips screws are so much better.
Yeah?
Yes. But that gives you kind of a general idea. It's not in all the way, but
Right.
I thought I would just demonstrate that, they're fairly easy to assemble.
Yeah,
You put the
absolutely.
wheels on and
Takes
it's
just a
ready to
minute
go.
and you're
Yep.
ready to hit the tracks and do the choo-choo all the time. And we should check out some more pictures here
All right.
that you've got of some
Oh,
trains.
yes. This-
Enlighten us.
I really like this picture because it demonstrates that trains can carry anything.
Right.
So for the sake of model railroading or real trains in general, it can go as far as your imagination can take it. Because it can go anywhere from food to beer like this to military vehicles. I mean, this is something that was really popular in World War II, but this photo was actually taken probably about 15 years ago.
Wow. Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very recent.
And still relevant, even though locomotives are the reason why this country ended up seeming smaller to begin with.
Yeah.
All right, what are we looking at now?
This was taken in the winter last year in Bensenville, Illinois,
Okay.
not far outside of Chicago, close to O'Hare. And I just really like this because this particular railroad is called Norfolk Southern, and they have beautiful black and white locomotives.
Yeah.
So, it's set against the background of snow. You can't go wrong with that.
Really cool. All right, next one here. That looks familiar.
Yep, that's our Skytop observation car.
Yeah.
I don't know how many are still in existence. If I'm not mistaken, I believe there's only one real one that's running, and that's the one. And that was running on the back of an Amtrak train, a special during the National Model Railroad Association meet that I believe was last year in Milwaukee, where I'm from. And some of the people that run the association were renting that car out, and it was going back and forth between Milwaukee and Chicago for the whole weekend.
Very neat.
So,
All right. Well, now what about this one?
another famous steam locomotive. This is the Southern Pacific Daylight, and this is one of very few streamlined steam locomotives still in operation today.
Wow.
It's famous for its coloring. It's very, very bright coloring.
Yeah.
Like on this, the model that I showed you before, it's streamlined. But on this one, it's basically a basic steam locomotive. But Southern Pacific was able to add a lot of fancy colors to it to really add to the style. Back in those days, the railroading style was everything, and how it looked was all part of that whole thing.
And what about this style right here? There's some style for you.
This was Wisconsin Southern's Santa train that ran last year up north, outside of Plymouth, Wisconsin, I think.
Yeah.
And they had a steam locomotive and a couple cabooses, and they had a Santa. I think at that time Santa was a little cold, so he was riding inside. but they were kind of backing up from a show that they just did in town. And,
Oh, really cool.
Yeah.
They're really cool, and a lot of good education on choo-choos there. Is choo-choo bad? Is choo-choo bad?
I can tolerate it.
Okay, good. Okay. So just real quick, just because we need to move things along here, tell us about this. You built what seems to be an exact replica of the Craftsman Experience here.
Something like that. I
Yeah.
call this the Craftsman Factory. I actually built it for this special occasion.
Cool.
It originated in a do-it-yourself build kit as a slaughterhouse.
Oh,
Believe it
wow.
or not.
Okay, great.
It came with these little plastic beefs and everything that you can
Oh,
hang on.
jeez. Okay, sounds delicious.
But I decided, for more tasteful reasons,
Yeah.
to turn it into a little Craftsman Factory. Kits like this, I think, maybe because I had to work and I was building it when I'd come home from work. But if you really spent a dedicated amount of time on this, it would probably take you maybe about 2 or 3 hours to build something like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot of time and it's not a lot of effort. It just takes a little bit of glue to put the parts together. Some models that they build like this even snap together. But I put little details like the Craftsman logo in the front.
you got our address over here on the side. That's really cool.
Right on the side, yep. So I mean, I thought, stuff like this is just labels that you can print on a color printer.
Yeah.
And these are like vinyl decals, that you can.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to do.
Awesome. And all of this was really simple to do. So thanks a lot for coming in. I really appreciate it. And congratulations on your Craftsman Club accomplishment as well.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate it. All right, so while we do all this, we talked a little bit about trains.
Indeed.
Or choo-choo? Is it choo-choo train?
Choo-choo train, yes.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, all right. Well, there's different types of trains that are in town, and you know what? We've spanned a few of them, but you should check out this video for more.
This has been a presentation of the Craftsman World of DIY Broadcast Network.